Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. Happy New Year everyone. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to the KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 0.56% to 46,979. Ethereum down 0.64% to 36.99. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Happy New Year, everyone! Wishing you a beautiful and prosperous 2022 and much love to our KS family. As a community, we focus on real wealth and establishing and maintaining a positive life trend. We always hit resistance in life. Things don't go our way. We can get a setback, but that is actually a setup for a further promotion ahead. We're just accumulating strength or different perspectives or different wisdom. The universe is always opening doors to new knowledge. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, I just want to let you know that our love as a community, our love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. I just wanted to put a little thing from Rect. Rect, a very, very precious community member, said, wishing good health and fast recovery to all the people out there suffering. Rec recently went through some issues. It's very nice of Rec to say that. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. Rule 781, crypto technical analysis is a skill and a philosophy. Skill will only take you so far. In the crypto market, you have to have the right philosophy, not only in terms of mastering your own emotional state, but understanding the rules of wealth. There's a very big difference between riches and wealth. Many people get into continuous conflict. Conflict actually repels wealth. If those people were to actually understand inner and outer peace and grab it and live through that, they would do incredibly well, even if they're doing incredibly well already. Inner and outer peace are very, very important. It's really easy to get into conflict with other people. The first thing that we do as a community is we seek to understand. Using integrity, decency, and kindness. One of the biggest problems in life is conflict destroys relationships. When people are consistently in conflict with others, they actually weaken all the relationships around them. That is why outer peace is so critical to not only happiness, but establishing trust between people. Mastering yourself is incredibly difficult to do, but there are ways, and we talk about it inside the community every day. Maintaining a positive excellence life trend, one committed to harmony, kindness, and understanding, as well as understanding the laws of wealth, will attract not only money into your life and an abundance of money, but will also make for a very, very happy and fulfilling life. In the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, real wealth is introduced 22 days after you sign up. What actually happens is sections are released in particular timing blocks so that you can absorb and not worry about getting overloaded with information. Every single lesson that you see inside the masterclass is literally how you can make money. It's kind of like going to university, but the best thing about our university is every lesson you can make money from. It's fantastic, but also you can live a better life. Rule 730, crypto technical analysis is a business and a profession. It's absolutely correct. Engineers, doctors, lawyers, all sorts of professionals spend enormous amounts of time gaining their knowledge. Crypto technical analysis is no different. You need to know what you're doing. But there's a little bit of an edge to it. You also need self-mastery. Because why? We're dealing with money, and money can disconnect emotions from logic and reason. I'd just like to remind people that on the 31st of December US time, the foundation membership discount ends. That's the 90% off our Rolls-Royce Crypto Technical Analysis Masterclass. If you are interested, please reach out to me at kstandf@gmail.com. For those seeking to take their skills to the next level, it could be good to understand what people have actually said who have or are going through the masterclass. Signs have said, "The masterclass is an understatement, as it's the most amazing course I have ever been involved in. Your attention to detail always astounds me. Your YouTube channel has incredible detail, but your masterclass is at another level that I could not have imagined. I can see students also becoming the next entrepreneur extraordinaire. How wonderful. The price of the masterclass, either full price or the amazing discount, shows your incredible generosity." Thank you, Signs of. It's an absolute pleasure. And Kirk, finishing my second run through the first 35 videos in the masterclass, still picking up gems. I've layered all the content using exponential learning techniques, and my background as a first and second year statistics lecturer teaching stats from the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just wanted to make things easy for my students and transfer my love of numbers to them, and it worked. Some other feedback that may be of assistance. The Meditative Mind said, "I just finished the first run through of the masterclass. I would pay full price for this class. It's worth every single penny. I wish Ken and his class were around when I started in crypto, as I would have saved so much money on liquidations. I tested his advice and caught a long tail rejection back at 29,765 on July the 16th. The masterclass is the next level. It will teach you how to make as much money as you want, and your results will be driven by how much time you dedicate to your own education. No one is going to give it to you. You are the master of your own destiny, and if you found this channel, you were brought here for a reason." Thank you, Meditative Mind. That's very, very nice. And it actually uncovers a very, very important lesson in life. Commitment is the foundation of success. Tails said, "I absolutely agree. It's so worth it, even at full price. But as you say, you need to be committed. Sometimes things take a little bit of time to come together." And for Tails, the coin dropped, and the Meditative Mind said, "Love that feeling." Nothing of value is given, and wealth is the ultimate value. Rule 700, wealth requires hard work. It's really interesting that so many people just want to get rich quick. If you do actually manage to get rich quickly, you'll probably lose it just as quickly. There's a fundamental difference between richness and wealth. Wealth is maintainable, richness is not. The fundamental problem that we all face in life, no matter what we're focused on, is what Jack Canfield talked about. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Fear is like the brake in the car. It's always slamming the brakes on. Don't go left, don't go right, don't go forward, and certainly don't go back. I like to always give a balanced perspective. Coy reached out and said, "I'd really like to sign up, but I don't know if I have the time for it." And Coy also said that they understand the content would be very top-notch. Richard said, "Everything in life that you want to succeed at requires time and dedication. The masterclass is on an entirely different level. It's an absolute gift to the community, but you need to want it to benefit." I can't stress this enough. Everything in life that you can use to be successful takes time. For example, if you want to do a law degree, that's going to take time. If you're going to become a doctor, that's going to take time. If you want to be an engineer, an accountant, a teacher, just about anything that you can name, it's going to take time, and it's going to take commitment. This is no different. What I've done in the masterclass is basically summarize 30 years of experience in markets, and done so in such a way that every single lesson can be practically applied. Each lesson builds on the previous lesson to create a super strong foundation that you can actually create anything you want to create with. But that, of course, is up to you. People will find that some of the videos in the masterclass you need to watch a couple of times to just drill the concepts in. But you're in control of the speed and your pace of your own education. I'd like to share something that Brad wrote to me in a personal email, and I actually asked Brad if he wouldn't mind if I shared this with the community, and he very graciously said yes. He said, "Hi Ken, I finished the course content that is currently available and awaiting on the Real Wealth content to open, which will open shortly. I just wanted to say how incredibly blown away I am with this course. I have learned so much in such a short period of time. I no longer FOMO into an alt that doesn't have fear of missing out, but I am setting 10-5-10 orders and so excited to see them filled. You're right, price really does move in waves, and I can stop worrying about getting left behind by price and FOMOing in to rising green candles. The psychological mindset you teach is every bit as vital as the technical information. You are so spot on, Brad. This is what I found after 30 years inside financial markets. If you do not control your mind, if you don't have a diamond mind, you're in a lot of trouble because you will consistently get faked out of the market." He says, "I have so much more confidence than I ever had before." He feels blessed to get into the class, and it's truly an opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you, Brad. It's really, really kind. David is just getting into it. Meditative Mindset. Welcome to the best class ever. Truly life-changing. Beardy said, "You'll get your money's worth and more. That's just the first couple of sessions." Fair Human, an abundance of knowledge here, and Jules are in the masterclass. And YT, I'm glad to join the masterclass to learn to have a diamond mind. That is what we talk about in the masterclass, having a diamond mind. It's incredibly important. Diamond hands are good, but a diamond mind is absolutely critical. No matter what you're doing in life, commitment is fueling your excellence. If you don't have excellence in any particular area of life, just seek to increase your level of commitment and see if anything changes. Commitment is an absolute foundation of the rules of wealth. The problem is the rules of wealth are never discussed, and people have to find them out through years and years of trial and error. What we do inside the masterclass in the Real Wealth section is discuss those rules. It can be very much life-changing. I won't go through these ones. I think everybody gets the idea. The concept is there's just one day to go, and I don't want anybody to miss out on a foundation membership that they would otherwise want. Just if you would like, just email me at kstandf@gmail.com and I'll make sure that gets locked in for you. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is an incredibly important rule. As Bitcoin goes, so too does the entire crypto market. Looking at the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we can see we're in the bull market segment of the current run. We haven't got price shooting above this upper green line as it has with past exponential blow off tops. We do expect that, but we're going to have to wait till next year to see that. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and see what mischief it's up to. Bitcoin is currently trading at 46,934. We can see that we're under this resistance line. We're just a little bit away from the I don't know where I'm going box using KS3 color analysis, but we're not quite yet at the I'm going down box, which is this red area. It's a certain amount of negative pressure here at the moment, but two things to keep our mind on. One is this particular support line running through here, which will activate around the 45,530 mark. That's caught price time and time and time and time and time and time again. Let's just keep our eye on that. That should be a fairly reasonable solid support. there's a probability that we will come down to this particular support, test it, make this particular support here at 46,893 a support level, and make our way up to the next resistance around 52,225. But of course, anything can happen, and as professional crypto technical analysts, we look at always having three-way decision making. We always make in advance probabilistic choices. If it enters the green zone, what do we do? If it enters the red zone, what do we do? If it stays in the I don't know where I'm going zone, what do we do? This is the way to sleep really well at night, but also not to be caught off guard by actual price movements. Before KS 3-color analysis, many people didn't quite know where price was going, and they could get shaken out of positions because they thought, okay, everything is collapsing, everything is going to zero. It's really easy to think, and this is why crypto technical analysis is just not a skill, it's also a philosophy. The emotional control is really, really important in the crypto market. When you see a profit turning into a loss, of course you don't feel good at all. You will in all likelihood get angry. Please don't get angry and don't get disappointed. Kindness to yourself is incredibly important. Kindness has a ripple effect across every interaction that you have, and being kind to yourself is incredibly important. Always remember, price is always moving in waves. It goes up and it goes down. This is the reality of crypto, and crypto is incredibly volatile. Rule 130, make volatility your best friend. What influencers typically do with their screaming faces on thumbnails and all sorts of things is to basically freak people out. They FUD and FOMO their community. They have a fear, uncertainty and doubt, and they have a fear of missing out. And this is not good. When you actually look at the crypto market, when you see long tail rejections, they're absolutely the most profitable things to buy. For example, you could get a lot of screaming faces on thumbnails here when the price came down from about 51,714 down to around 46,100, and you would have lots of rockets flying everywhere on thumbnails when the price was going up. This is crazy stuff. What you actually see is price always moving in a wave. It does have a structure and it has science behind it. When we look at the KS model from the previous bull run, the 2016 bull run, we can see that there were very nice percentage increases, and everybody's really happy with that. But the problem is the psychological aspect when you lose, and this is on Bitcoin, mind you, that means that the alts get more negative downside than this. Having a 20%, a 40% drawdown is really difficult for people to deal with. They can get shaken out of their positions. Of course, all those screaming faces on thumbnails do not help. And if you've got any leverage at all, please get out of leverage. It will wreck your account. Many people think, I don't have much money, so therefore I need to multiply my gains. Leverage is the ultimate way to kill your account. Just learn the skills and just patiently apply them, and you can scale up as you get better and better. This is a profession. Crypto technical analysis is a profession, like being a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, an accountant, a teacher. Everything that requires effort and energy, it's not going away. That's why there's a very deep psychological element to understanding how to trade in crypto. Actually being able to withstand these negative momentums and rewiring your mind so that you can take advantage of them. That's what our community stands for. Just a case in point, you might remember the heat map. It was red just before. Now it's green. This is crypto. Let's have a quick look at the different factors that may be influencing Bitcoin's price at the moment. We can see the Mt. Gox reserve has not moved and has not moved for many, many months. A big issue around the world is the number of Omicron cases. That's currently today 365,639. We can see that the largest increase in Omicron is currently in the UK, Denmark, and Germany. Our thoughts and well wishes go out to everybody at this time. From a market perspective, Omicron and viruses can cause increased stringency or basically closures. When we look at Germany, France, Canada, well, Germany and France have been going up in terms of stringency. Let's look at Canada going down. India had a bit of a bounce up. The UK is quite interesting. They're not really increasing their stringency, and the US is decreasing its stringency at the moment. Around the globe, there's about 286.7 million cases. And when we look at the daily new cases, we're definitely getting a very, very large spike. The wonderful thing is that the death rate is not going with it, thank goodness. Around the world, an extra 1.7 million cases was added overnight. If you're going through a life pullback, please understand that our thoughts and love are with you. The sun will come out again, things will get better, and you're just going through a strengthening process on your way to being rerouted to an exciting new future of some sort. Okay, let's have a look at Bitcoin versus the airlines and transport indexes. We can see the Nasdaq broke over resistance. It's just doing a minor pullback. Transportation indices are up in the main. They're doing quite well. Little bit of a downturn in the airlines index, and that is not at all surprising with these numbers. We can see that the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rate are going up. It's really interesting that Bitcoin is lagging. What could this be because of? The institutions love to make very big statements about gains from month to month. I think they're just simply selling down Bitcoin to start the new year in a very good manner. Let's keep an eye on how it all plays out, but that is in all likelihood the same, because we know Bitcoin is a follower of the inflation rate. So we would be predicting that Bitcoin would turn around, not that Bitcoin would collapse. We always stack probabilities, and Masterclass students, you will get access to all of these charts. Evergrande, of course, continues to be an issue. What does default mean and what it doesn't mean? You can just read here in the headlines. Fitch Ratings made official what the markets already knew. Absolutely, China Evergrande has been restricted default, and that happened quite a long time ago anyway. What we've seen is a little bit of an increase in activity. We see fairly reasonably positive headlines coming out on Evergrande, but what are the stock prices doing? That is the critical question. Masterclass students, you will also get this graph. So let's have a look at the Chinese property market sentiment. We can see Evergrande here in blue, Cynic Holdings in purple, Fantasia in that kind of red color, Greenland in green, Country Garden in yellow, and Vanke in white. These 7 companies, these 7 Chinese property market companies, have combined debt of over $1 trillion. That is net debt. Okay, let's have a look in this area. We saw a little bit of a bounce up yesterday and a little bit of a bounce down, but they're all basically bottoming at the present time. It's not as though they're on their way to zero. And why is this? It's because the CCP, the Chinese government, will make sure that these companies do not fail. They will seek to look after the local market, and they'll let market forces handle US denominated debt. One way that we see problems in the market is when the stocks go down and the bond prices go up and bond yields plummet. There is a relationship between stocks and bonds and crypto. They're all investment classes and they all carry different levels of risk. What do we see in the US market, and why are we looking at the US market? Why don't we just look at some other market? The US market has approximately $56 out of every $100 of investment in stock markets globally. It is the leader, like Bitcoin is the leader for the crypto market. Always look to the leader. Let's have a look at VIX. The VIX, the fear gauge of the S&P 500, is coming down. If Evergrande was a critical issue and people were getting freaked out, we would see it. We would see fear spike up the wall. That is not happening. What is happening to the NASDAQ 100 price? It's just coming back to a level of support. Nothing to see here. What is the oil prices doing? Oil is just consolidating. What about the bonds? The bond prices, they're still under resistance. What about bond yields? They're just moving in a wave, as all price does. You can see if Evergrande was a major problem, these bond prices would go straight up the wall, as would the fear index, and the markets would come down. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce in gold, which is great. I mean, gold definitely deserves its time in the sun. The US dollar currency index, the DXY, has broken below its support. In all likelihood, it will continue down. When looking at the crypto market, using the fear and greed index is a really, really good idea. There's a couple of fear and greed indexes out there. They calculate things in a slightly different way. It's always good to be aware of how they overlay on each other. Let's have a look at the fear and greed index from alternative.me. It's registering extreme fear. Now, what should we do as crypto technical analysts? Absolutely, we should buy this fear, and that is exactly what I'm doing. When you look at fear in the market, these very, very fearful days are absolutely the best days. Does it mean it's the bottom? No, absolutely not. Does it mean it's a good risk to return ratio? Yes, it does. Do we use leverage? No, we don't, because we don't want to get smashed. The problem with leverage is just that price moves around so very much in the crypto market. You have to be extremely, extremely careful, to the point that I would say if you're not consistently profitable at spot, it's best to avoid. Rule 28, opportunities reset daily. This is a very beautiful life rule as well as a crypto technical analysis rule. Rule 28 is so true. Every day is the chance to begin again. If you were one way, for example, if you were angry and disappointed at life yesterday, that doesn't mean that you have to be that person today. You can just have a little bit more kindness, a little bit more understanding for yourself. That is always the basis of kindness. It is always internally reflected, and then it gets reflected externally. Having inner and outer peace is a very beautiful way to live, and also it attracts wealth that stays in your life. Personally, I do not believe in affirmations, but I know one thing. If you don't have a wealthy mindset, if you don't believe that you can have wealth, you will not have wealth. So in terms of that, understanding that all the wealth in the world is open to you is a critical understanding, because it is. All you have to do is to care and reach your care into the world in your unique way. The world needs your care, it needs your love, and it needs your contribution, and you're incredibly worthy of success. Let's look at our first day cryptos. What were we saying yesterday about Bitcoin? We were saying it's coming down, it will probably test support and bounce. What has it done? It's exactly done what we said it will do. Now, what happens to Ethereum as Bitcoin bounces and, say, for example, it takes out this previous top just here at around 51,500? What's going to happen to Ethereum? Of course, it's going to range up. This is why we must keep our eye on Bitcoin. If you understand Bitcoin's price action, you understand so many things in the crypto market. We can see Ethereum is under resistance at the moment. What about Binance Coin? It's coming back to a level of support, just a little bit below. Let's have a look at Sol. Sol is doing quite well. It's very, very strong, and it's good. It has a good technical structure. What about ADA? Poor old ADA. Charles, where are you? It's coming back to a level of support, but it's not there yet. What about XRP? It's also coming back. When looking at XRP, we've actually had a fill on that point E384 level. It's really interesting. When we look at a particular crypto, we don't get involved with fear of missing out. Just like what Brad was talking about. We actually look at the chart and we say price is always moving in a wave, and if it is moving strongly up, it can move strongly down, and we make that volatility our best friend by placing 10-5-10 orders into the market. We can see DOT is just hovering around its support at the moment. Luna is continuing to look really, really good. But just remember, when you have extremely powerful waves up, you can have them down, and they can be very short-lived, but they do occur. That's why we set our 10-5-10 levels down at support, because we're hoping just a long tail rejection comes and slurps them all up. Let's have a look at the next day. You can see Bitcoin's fingerprint playing in on that blue in the background. What is happening to Doge? When Bitcoin's fingerprint goes up, it goes up. When it comes down, it goes down. When it comes up, it had a bit of a delay. It actually went up eventually. But what happened when it started to come down? It comes down. This is the incredibly important thing to always remember. Bitcoin's fingerprint, Bitcoin's gravity will impact your beloved alts. Keep your eye on Bitcoin at all times. So we can see that Doge is coming back to a level of support, just almost testing this downward support line. AVAX, not bad. We can actually see it filled that 99.85 level. It's an amazing thing if you think about it. It was around $127 and it's come back and filled that 99.85. That's why we always say make volatility your best friend. What typically happens is people see this big up move and they say, "Oh, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm going to miss it, it's going to go to the moon." And then this negative wave comes in and starts to create losses, and people think, "Oh no, I got it wrong, I need to get out." And then it hits a support level and it bounces technically up, and they say, "Oh no, I knew it was going to work, I need to get it back into it," and then it waves down. They can get caught in a very vicious cycle. That's why inside our community we don't care about FUD and FOMO. We use probabilities as our trusted advisor, and we laugh in the face of fear. Let's have a look at SHIB. We can see Bitcoin's fingerprint playing in. Look at this. This is the way you understand how to trade your beloved alts. It's really, really important. What is happening with SHIB? It's coming back to a support level. What about Matic? Look at Matic. Matic has so much strength. Always remember that when we have strength up, we can have strength down. But typically, if it's very strong up, it will be very weak down. Even though it may spike down, it pretty much recovers quite quickly. That's why we set our buy orders lower, and it actually takes a lot of patience to have those filled. Patience requires a lot of self-mastery as well, and a lot of self-kindness. That's why going after inner peace and outer peace is so incredibly important. I've seen many people, many very, very good traders, they don't have outer peace, which means they don't have inner peace. It's limiting their capability to do really, really well. They do well, but they would do so much better, be so much more effective if they had inner peace. Okay, let's have a look at Litecoin. We can see it's just consolidating at the moment, under resistance. Uni is under resistance, just consolidating. We can see Algo looking pretty nice here. It's starting to bounce. I want to thank the very kind community members who reached out. There's some interesting news in the Algo community. You might want to look into it in more depth. Poor old Chainlink is not going too well at the moment. It's quite under resistance and looking pretty weak. Having a look at the next day, we can see Bitcoin Cash just consolidating like so many others under resistance. What does this really mean? What it means is that when Bitcoin Cash's price gets up to this resistance, and it will at some stage, when it gets up, there's going to be a lot of sellers saying, "Down you go, down you go." That's very different from when you have a lot of buyers buying at support, seeking to push it up. And what do the sellers do? They basically say, you're not getting it so cheaply, I'm going to raise it. Okay, Tron still under resistance. Axie Infinity, a little bit like ETH at the moment, just broken below that particular support line. What about Stellar? Stellar just retracing back. And what do we see here? Bitcoin's fingerprint. As Bitcoin's fingerprint comes down, what do the beloved alts do? They go down with it. This is why you must look at the gravity. It will make you a fortune if you can actually look at it and understand it well. VeChain is on the way down. It's looking quite under resistance at the moment. Cosmos, Atom, showing a little bit of strength here. Just keep your eye on whenever crypto shows strength. You want to put them on your radar. You want to be aware of it. FTT or FTX token showing weakness, coming back to support. Okay, having a look at the next date. EGLD just consolidating around its support here, horizontal support. ICP still very much under resistance, a lot of sell pressure, hard to make money on ICP. Filecoin, same, a lot of resistance. What about Sand? Oh, that's looking quite interesting. Let's have a look. Let's zoom in here. Very nice. Sand actually slurped up that support level at 557.51. It is now 585.34. H-bar still below resistance but starting to turn around. Theta token just wobbling around its support line at the moment. Ethereum Classic looking very weak, like Bitcoin Cash. Near is always an interesting personality, isn't it? It's just bumping up and down. Just a very quick reminder, if you're interested in becoming a foundation member, please reach out and email me at kstandf@gmail.com. That will close off on the 31st of December. As we get into the community favorites, please remember Rule 444, ignore tips, advice and marketing, and always do your own research. Looking at VRA, it's still under resistance. When we look at Icon was doing incredibly well. Let's just zoom in here. What Icon basically did, it rallied up to a point of resistance around the 174.1 mark. It couldn't get above it because there were a lot of sellers there, and it went down from that peak down around 37%. That's why we always buy in layers at different levels of support. You don't have to just buy in one level or another. You can spread them out to your heart's delight. It's really up to you. Everybody has their own unique and different way of placing buy orders. For example, if people put $10,000 in at that top, they just lost $3,693. That is why we always buy in layers, assuming that price is negatively biased and knowing markets don't thrive in certainty, they thrive in uncertainty. These are really, really good rules. They'll save you a fortune over time. Let's have a look at Digibyte, still under resistance, just consolidating at the moment. We can see IOTA coming back to a level of support. It had a resistance above it at 157.67, and there were a lot of sellers there. That's what these resistance levels do. As there were a lot of sellers, it pushed the price down. Where did it push it to? Support. You got it. We can see Stacks just bubbling along its support line. RLC is under resistance. What about audio? Audio is looking quite interesting. It's coming back to a longer term support line, and it's holding this support quite well. We may see a cradling of price in here around the 1278 level. Let's keep our eye on that one. And we actually know that it all is dependent on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin turns around, we know that the alts will rally with it. If Bitcoin comes down, we know the alts will be affected. And of course, it's not always 100% of alts. Sometimes there's overriding factors in the individual logistics of particular alts that can push them up. but always be aware of their volume. Make sure that the volume is supporting the price and they're not getting manipulated. Let's have a look at Cartesi, CTSI. It's just literally come back to a level of support and it's bounced. Just a little question for our community. What two cryptos here do you think have promise and why? Is it, for example, Mana? Is it Axie Infinity? Is it Engine Coin? What about SLP, Sand, ILV, Alice, or CHR? Please let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. So the question is, what two here out of these 8 have the most promise? And what would be the one that you would pick that has actually the most promise? I'd just like to wish everybody a very, very Merry New Year. And for the people who are going to go through their New Year in about 14 hours, and those that are going to celebrate it the next day, I just want to wish everybody a very, very prosperous 2022 and lots of love to our beautiful KS family and of course to the world. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. And a very, very happy new year. Bye for now.